This conference
Okay.
will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the last class we discussed about rule availability, right? Rule availability and circumstance we discussed. Okay, so today we will be discussing email. Okay, so email mainly it is having two types. So one is like inbound email and the other one is outbound email. So what do you mean by inbound email and what do you mean by outbound email? Inbound email means Pega will receive the email and perform the functionality. Whereas outbound email means we are going to send the email to someone else. Okay, so as we discussed in the last class, for example, if any employee applies for the leave, okay, so the email has to be sent to the manager saying that this person, this user one has applied for the leave, please approve. Okay, so once the manager has been approved, and again there is one more email sent to the user saying that your leave request has been approved. Okay, so like that, if you want to send the mail from Pega, that is called an outbound email. Okay, so from Pega, whenever the functionality is happened, we would like to give a notification to the user, saying that, so it's been, so this action has been performed like that. Okay, otherwise you please approve the mail. Otherwise, your request has been rejected. Okay, so these things, if you want to do, first you need to create the email account. Okay, so but if you want to create the email account, you should have the email server. Okay, in general, in the organizations, there will be IT team. Okay, so who will be generally looking into your network issues and all those things. Okay, so they will be giving your email server details. Okay, like email server name and the port. So right now, to connect to the Pega, what we have something called we installed in our local system. So it is having localhost colon 8080. Okay, so this is the port and this is the server. Okay, so by which we are connecting to the local Pega server. In the same way for email also you will be having one server. Okay, so you should know that details of that. Okay, now as we don't have any email server, so generally the organizations will be using Microsoft email server. Okay, but as we don't have that email server now, so what we can do, we can use the Gmail account details. Okay, Gmail account server details, port and the user ID and password, so all these things like that. Okay, so for getting that Gmail account credentials, okay, so what we will be doing is so from the Gmail account we will be getting that. So open your Gmail account. After opening the Gmail account, so here you need to go for the manage your Google account. Okay, select manage your Google account. Okay, in the manage Google account, select security. So under the security, so here you will be having something called two-step verification. Okay, this two-step verification should be off. By default, it will be off only. In case if it is enabled two-step verification, you should make it off. Okay, so it should not be on. And along with that, so you will be having something called less secure app access. Okay, less secure app access. This should be turned on. Okay, by default, even this is also off. So select this turn on access. Okay, now I made it on. Okay, so after making it on, now go to Pega. So under the Pega, so as you know, right? So there are various ways to go to controls. So under the integration, under the email, so select email accounts. Okay, integration, email and email accounts. Okay, anyway, either from records also you can go or else from anywhere you can go. Okay, so here it is displaying the list of the existing email accounts. Some Pega has created some of the email accounts. Okay, so here you need to create the new one. select create. So this account ID should be of your work class. Okay, your class group which it is referring to. So what is our work class? ICICIG hyphen FW hyphen app hyphen work. Okay, give the same name. Okay, and select the email provider. So what is the email provider? It is Google Gmail. Okay, as we are using this Google Gmail, we need to select that. As I said in organizations, if you are using Microsoft Exchange Server, you need to select that. So these details will be given by the IT team. So through that we can collect it. Okay, now select Google Gmail and then here send using SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Okay, so through this protocol only we can send the emails. So this is the sender. Okay, this is the sender details by which we will be sending the email. Okay, email address. So give your email ID. So my Gmail account I am giving. Okay, and the name if you want you can give ICICI app. Okay, so the user ID also the same thing. Okay, and give the password of your Gmail account. Okay, so here smtp.gmail.com only, smtp host, that is the host actually. Okay, by default, as we have selected this Google Gmail, they have given us smtp.gmail.com, and the port you can give something called 465 and use SMTPS and then select the default one. Okay, so likewise, these are the things which you need to select. And in case if you want to configure the receiving emails also, then you can select receive using. Okay, so this will be almost same. So I'll be going with the sender.
The password we need to give anything, or else the Gmail
account password only. When I'm trying to log the Gmail account, what you will be giving same password only, your account password. You cannot give what you have to give the same only.
Okay.
This is like we are accessing that account, right? From that we will be sending this.
We configured only sender part, not the receiver part, right, sir?
Yeah, exactly, correct. Both will be same only, so you can give this.
Okay.
Configuration, the silver indicated that the authentication email account are incorrect. I have the correct password only. Oh, it's caps lock enabled. Now you got success. Okay, so once after creating this email account, here you should get success. So even if you click on that, so you will be seeing that last time it was shown that the credentials was wrong. So once if you give the correct credentials, now it is showing success for all of them. So once you got the success, okay, now you can send the email. So how to send the email in Pega? There are some default activities available. Okay, there are some default activities available, so you can use those activities. Okay, otherwise in the flow, in case if you want to send it, okay, so there is some shapes available. Okay, for example, customer details flow. Okay, so in this customer details flow, once after completion of this, okay, entering the details, I want to send the mail to the user. Okay, so in that case, what you can do here, you can include the smart shapes. Okay, in that we have advanced shape. We have send the email here. Automation, yeah, send the email is there. Okay, under the automation, you have send email. Okay, so in this send the email, so we need to pass the parameters. Okay, so send the email. So this is the send email, send to whom you want to send it. Okay, so in case if you want to send it to any person, okay, either you can hard code it, otherwise, okay, so after accepting the details to that same person only if you want to send it. For example, okay, we have the customer details. Are we accepting email address anywhere?
No, sir, I guess.
No, I think right. Okay. So currently where we are maintaining all the details under the customer details, right? Data model, property. Customer details. Okay, it is not having. This customer details is referring to the which property. ICICI data person. So back for user, is it created by us? Otherwise, yeah, I think yeah, maybe while running the wizard, I think this has been created. Okay, yeah, anyway, let's create a new property here. I'm moving to 0100102. Why? Because all our rules are under the 0100102. So we need to save as them also under the 0100103. Otherwise, we cannot access them. Okay, so we have some PRPC default control PX email. Okay, so it will validate it. It should be in the email format only like that. Okay, so here we will add that control. This is again a different section or what? Customer details that first mail. Now run the flow. So just to validate that email address I'm running. So still we are not sending the email. Okay. We applied the validator, all right. Or the email address. That is the control over there. Okay. Let's see validate. Not there. Do we have anything related to the email?
Valid email address is there.
Not showing validate email.
Valid email address.
Yes. Okay. In the control also I'm applying email, so that while typing it will be helpful. See, enter a valid email address. Okay. So like that we can validate it. So right now I'm giving abc@xyz.com. So anyway, it is fine. So it is working. Now what we need to do? So now we need to refer this email address. Okay, we need to refer this email address. Okay, to send the email. Okay, to send the email, we need to refer this email address. Okay, so now go to flow. In the flow, send the email is there. Okay, so select the email address. So how can we select the email address now? Where actually that property is available, that email address, in which property it is available?
Customer details page.
Yeah, customer details dot email address. Okay, testing email functionality. Okay, testing email functionality, and later message. So this is the subject. Okay, this is the subject of the email, and then message. So if you want, we can select through correspondence. Okay, that means for entering the body of the email, okay, the content of, for the content of the email, either, okay, you can select correspondence and you can select the correspondence rule. Okay, that means we need to create a separate rule for that. Okay, so once if you create the separate rule for that, now what it will be happening? So we can reuse it. So same email message, if you want to send it to the multiple people, okay, then you can create a correspondence template and then you can send it. So how you can create this correspondence rule? That is the, okay, so that is the process category. Okay, create, see here, if you see, you have something called correspondence. So, and again here you can create two things, correspondence and correspondence type. Okay, correspondence fragment. Okay, correspondence and correspondence fragment. Okay, so correspondence fragment means, so for example, we can create a signature separately. Okay, we can create body separately, and then we can create, okay, so hello separately, like that. So label here, okay, signature. So correspondence type, what kind of the correspondence it is? Okay, there are mainly 4 types of the correspondences available in Pega: email, fax, mail, and phone text. Okay, so based on that, okay, you can select it. But right now we are creating the email. So select email. So we are creating signature for the email. So generally signature means what? The end of the email, what early we will be displaying, like, okay, thanks and regards. Okay, Pega series. Okay, so like that, the email signature. And even if you want to format and everything, you can format it accordingly: bold, italic, underline. Okay, all this is like it. So earlier we have created the same kind of rule. What is that? Do you remember? Paragraph rule we created.
Paragraph.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So in the same way, this correspondence, but here we need to select the correspondence fragment. Okay, and then create it. And even here, if you want, you can include other rules also. Like if you want to refer insert property, and if you want to refer insert rule also. Okay, So like this, insert rule means you can include some other paragraph rule here, or you can include some other HTML section also here. Okay. And here, in case if you select insert property, so it will be reference the property name. For example, we will be creating one more rule and then we will see that. Create correspondence fragment. This is the email. Create and open. So here we can say hello and then we can include the property. So what is the property? For example, from the
First name.
Exactly, customer details dot first name, like that we can select it. So that is also under the customer details only, right?
Customer detail. Yes, sir. Customer details on.
First name. And allowing that in case if you want to do some kind of the format, and even if you want to apply the condition based on the condition only, if you want to display it, so like that you can select it. Okay. So this, whether you want to display it like a hyperlink, or otherwise you want to display it like a button, so like that you can select whether you want to display it like a checkbox. So like that various formats are there. So if you want, you can try it out, but I want to display like a normal text only. Okay, just to save it. Okay, and then save it. Customer details is not valid. Okay, let's select this. Let's declare it as a. Why? Because this is not we are creating in the class. In general, if you are creating in this class, then it's okay. But this is not the class particular to the class it is. So this can be referred anywhere.
What is that mode, sir, at the last one? The pairs and classes?
Yeah. So this prompt indicates if you want to return the values, then we can select this prompt. Okay, prompt means, for example, if you are calling one activity to from another activity, activity 1 to activity 2. Okay, so if you want to pass the complete page to the activity 2, then we can go for the prompt. Prompt means it will send this complete PA or page information to the activity 1 to activity 2. Okay, we are passing the information. So wherever you refer this particular email correspondence fragment, so for that it will pass the complete PA or page. Okay, after creating these fragment rules, then create correspondence rule. Customer details email. So again, this is also same kind only email. So previously we have created the fragments. Now I am creating the correspondence rule. Okay, mostly this is also same only. So here now you can insert the rule So what is that rule? Okay, here you can insert 4 types, whereas in the fragment you used to insert only paragraph and section. Okay, but here you can insert car also and fragment also. We have created the fragments, right? So select the fragment. So what is that fragment we created? Hello message, one thing. Okay, and at the end of the email, we can give signature. Okay, in between you can give some message. Like that, any of the email content. Now save it. Okay, now go to that flow. Okay, so here see customer details email. Okay, select submit. Now what I want to do, after completion of the flow, I want to send the email. And then I want to end the flow. Save it. Okay, now run the flow. What I'm doing is I'm giving Pegaseries only. Okay, maybe if you want, you can give any other email ID, so it will go. So, but here from Pegaseries to Pegaseries only I'm sending to gmail.com. Submit. And it is taking only one flow. It should take two, right? Is it routed to someone, this flow? Did we implement routing functionality for this? Yeah. Okay, now change it to current operator. So after completing the second assignment also, okay, now it will be sending the email. Now we will see and see. You see, even after sending the email, in the recent content, okay, for this work object, after sending the email for this work object, so under the recent content, it will be showing that the testing email functionality, the subject of the email which I have given. Okay, that is showing. That means the email has been sent. Like this, here it will be attaching. So the email which you are sending, that will be as a attachment for this work object. Okay, now go to this one. Yeah, we got the email, testing email functionality. Okay, so email has taken from that property. So pegacities@gmail.com. Okay, but this PV workbench, that customer and details, that first name, okay, it has to be taken. Okay, why it is different?
So it worked for me, sir. It sent first name also, proper name.
What did you give? Did you give same PV workbench, that customer details, something like this?
Yes, sir. py workpage dot customer details dot first name.
Mhm. Did they type any spelling mistake also? You give your to PV workbench, it did not accept.
I inserted in the form of property, not directly.
Oh, this is property only, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, instead of typing, yeah, maybe, yeah, let me try.
No, not like dot py workpage, only py workpage.
And become slow. I don't know why. Both are same only, right? But this thing. This property name is First name only, right? Or something. Yeah, first name only. Customer details that first name. Okay. Now let me try once. Even you can open this email and verify it. This time Hello Rama has come. Okay. Yeah, Hello Rama. Maybe some spelling mistake over there at that time. Okay. So like that you can send out the email. Okay. Now what I want to do is here. So I would like to use something called declare trigger. So when I perform some functionality, earlier we have used some of the declarative rules, right? What are the declarative rules which we have used? Garvish,
Sir,
what are the declarative rules earlier we used?
declare on change, declare expression,
Declare
declare on
constraint.
change. Yeah, declare constraint. Yeah.
Okay. So now I would like to use something called declare trigger. So what is the
Okay.
purpose of declare trigger? So the main purpose of the declare trigger is if you do any DML functionality. So what are the DML in general in RDBMS? We will be having DML constraints. Okay. So insert, update, and delete. Okay. These three are called DML things. Okay. Data manipulation language statements. Okay. These three are the DML statements. Okay. So whenever you insert or update or delete. Okay. So these three performed on the database table, then I would like to give the notification to the user. Okay, whenever I perform DML statements, whenever I generate DML statements, then I want to send out an email to the user. Okay, I'm telling clearly DML statements, insert, update, delete, and it is not like a select statement. Okay, it is not like select statement not for the select statements, only when you insert or update or delete. So how exactly you can insert, update, delete in the database from Pega? By using which methods we can perform insert, update, or delete?
OBJ methods.
What are OBJ methods?
OBJ save, OBJ browse, OBJ delete.
Yeah, okay. But OBJ browse or OBJ open or OBJ open by handle.
And
These three are not DML statements. Okay, these three are not DML statements. Why? Because they are like a select statements. OBJ browse means we are just retrieving the data from the database. OBJ open also retrieving just one record. OBJ open by handle also just retrieve one record. So they are not the DML statements. Okay, from Pega only OBJ save. If the record is not available, it will insert a new record. If the record is already existing, then it will update the record. Okay, and then OBJ delete for deleting the existing record. Okay, so when you use OBJ save or OBJ delete methods, then only I want to perform some functionality. Then you can go for the declare trigger. Okay, not only sending the email, whatever you want to do, you can perform through the activity, but okay, only when you perform on the OBJ save or OBJ delete. Okay, got it right?
yes, sir.
Okay, so now on which database table means based on the class on which you are working. So this ICICI GFW ICICI app work is a class group. Okay, so this is saving the data to the database. So in that case, if you want to perform, you can do that. Otherwise, what we can do? So in general, I think we have also created some customer details flow on which you are saving the data to the customer details table, right? So whenever the record is inserted, if you want to perform some functionality, then also you can go for the declare trigger. Okay, then also you can go for the declare trigger. Okay, so declare trigger is under the which category? Under the decision category. So create, and then here we have something called declare trigger. Okay, this is something called declare trigger. Even if you go to any RDBMS package also, like SQL Server, otherwise Oracle, otherwise DB2, otherwise PostgreSQL, whatever it is. Okay, in that also you can create the triggers. Okay, so create a trigger name like that. Okay, you will be having the statements. Do you have an idea of any of the RDBMS package, Jagdish?
I have a slight knowledge on it, sir. DBMS, yeah.
Okay, so in that also you will be having something called triggers. Okay, the trigger will be executed from the Oracle itself. But here from the Pega side, if you want to perform some functionality and perform any of the DML statements execution, then we can go for the trigger. Okay, so create a declare trigger. Purpose of this. Okay, so notify customer. Okay, like that I am creating and remaining as is. Okay, so here trigger when an instance is, so it is asking trigger when an instance is saved. Okay, committed save, committed delete, saved and or deleted. Okay, so when you want to perform this declare trigger, so that you can select whether the record is deleted from the database table or whether the record is saved to the database table, otherwise whether the record is committed and saved. Okay, committed and saved means what? Committed delete is means what? Saved and means what? Means in general in the activity when you use obj save method, okay, we have something called right now, right? Right now checkbox will be setting by which it
Yes.
will be saved to the database immediately. So in that case you can use committed save. Okay, so or committed delete. Okay, otherwise saved and also same thing. So now saved also fine. Okay, whenever you save the record to the database also fine. Okay, and then here trigger activity. Okay, so the name of the activity which you want to trigger. Okay, the name of the activity which you wanted to trigger. So if you have any activity, it will be displace it. Otherwise, you just create it. Okay, create the new activity. Okay, so here I would like to create like notify customer activity. I would like to create the new one. Okay, create and open. Okay, and then previously we sent the email from the flow. So in the flow, what we had the smart shape. Okay, we have selected the send email smart shape. Okay, but if you want to send the email from the activity, then how exactly you can do? Call. Okay, send simple email. Okay, call send simple email. Okay, so this is the default activity from Pega available. You can select that. Okay, expand it. Now you see here. To whom do you want to send the email? Okay, as again already I'm in the work class customer details dot. Okay, email. Customer details dot, did I give email or email address? Sorry. Okay, customer detail dot email address. Okay, subject. Okay, customer details saved, and the message. Okay, so what is the message you wanted to give? And along with that, even if you want, you can select the car name also. Okay, so what is the car name you have created? The customer details email. Okay, and the remaining is not mandatory, email account, batch send, and all those things. Okay, so just give this and save it. And along with this, you should remember one more thing. That is one of the important point. So what is that? Means in the security tab, I hope you remember the activity type. So by default, it will be activity, but we must select it as of type trigger.
Yeah.
Select trigger. Okay. Now the declare trigger is there, and notify customers. It has been created. Okay. So now from where we need to call this declare trigger?
In the declare trigger rule.
This is the declare trigger rule. From where we need to call this declare trigger rule?
I think we don't need to call. It will automatically work.
Exactly. Okay. So the main purpose of the declarative rules itself execute automatically without the reference from anywhere in the flow. Okay. So now from the flow we can delete this send the email, and whenever it is created it will be sent the email, that is one. And even if you want to send this email also you can send it, but 2 emails why unnecessarily, so I wanted to delete it. Already email has gone. Why? Because whenever it has created it will go right, first one. Next it will go. Okay, let's see whether the email has come or not. I'm not sure. It should go, I think. Yeah, we got it. Customer details saved. Okay. So hello ABC, your request has been approved. Thanks and regards, Pegasus. So like that we can send the email, okay, through the declare trigger also. So whenever the database operation occurred, so what are the database operations? Either insert or update or delete. Okay, now we have inserted a new record, now it has sent. Okay, so even in the recent content, it is showing this. Okay, so why it is showing that 2 emails sent like this, but we have only 1 email, right? But here it is showing 2 emails. If you see the first email, okay, you see 2 PZ email empty list. Okay, that means in that property email ID was not there. Now second time you got it. See, mega series. Why like that? Any idea, Jagdish?
We clicked submit twice, so it should have triggered 2 times in the
No.
first.
If you click to submit 2 times has to be mail sent to the properly. But why once it's failed? Why? Because in general, when you run the flow, what happens? Actions run. Okay, the flow has run, and immediately the work object has been created. That means it is sent to the database, right? But here the email address still I have not entered. But whenever you run the flow, automatically first itself it will create the work object. The work object ID is generated and it has created the work object into the database. So at that time, it is trying to send the email. At that time, it was not having any email address. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, whenever the work object created, it has saved to the database, but at that time still we have not yet given the email address, so it is having the some blank email ID. So that is the reason why PZ email empty list it has given. Okay, now after entering the details, if you click the submit, now it is overriding this work object. Okay, the same work object it is overriding with the details which I am giving. So at that time it is taking the email address from the email address, okay, from the email address property, and it is sending to the database. Okay, so it is sending the email also properly. So that is the difference. So that is all about the email and the declare trigger. Okay, so next we will be seeing something called some screen flows and all like that. Okay, so the flows, different types we will be having, right? Like screen flow, process flow. Right now we use the process flow. So along with that, we'll be having something called screen flow also. Okay, and then in the screen flow you have some more type like so spin off, split gen, all these things. So we'll be seeing that tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay,
Jagdish?
sir.
Okay,
So
then.
tomorrow we will see those, sir. And so are we going to start the integration from this week?
Yeah, one by one. Already we started email also one of the integration rule only.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so under the integration category only, right? We have created the email account. Okay, so
Yeah.
we are started. So as I said, so we are going one of these sequence of the flows like that. So one by one we will be referring. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. See you tomorrow at 7 a.m. only, not 8, not 8
Sure,
a.m.
sure, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.